officer who was shot in Daytona Beach, Florida. Now, as we all know, this was the officer who was shot in the head. He responded to a suspicious person call. He stopped answering radio transmission, so other officers raced to the scene, and he was found laying in the pavement with a gunshot wound to the head. So, with that being said, the suspect has still not been caught. There is a $100,000 reward out for information leading to an arrest of this suspect. Now, that being said, um, this person has been linked to all kind of hate groups. Now, again, why is this not on mainstream media, alright? And it was barely talked about that the officer was shot in the head, alright? That was barely talked about when the officer was shot in the head because it was a black male. Now, I guarantee you, if it was a white male that shot a black male, it would be all over the news. But since this was a black male who shot a white police officer, there was no ties on this or no media coverage on this. Now, like I said, this person has been linked to multiple groups, and some of these groups are, very concerning. Some of them are groups that I feel like are just out to destroy the country, alright? And try to take over. Now, some of the groups he are in is the NFAC, which is the Not Effing Around Coalition. Now, as far as that group is concerned, okay, I feel like they are a lot of talk more than anything. Alright, now I say that because of what I've seen, alright? I go by evidence, alright? Now, there is he has a YouTube account and a account on Facebook. Now, some of y'all probably know, some of y'all don't, I don't know. Now, his name is Terrence K. Williams, alright? He is a black male. He is a huge Trump supporter, police supporter, all that. Now, anyways, one of the members from the NFAC calls him out, telling him to tag members and all this. Alright, and in my personal experience, the NFAC doesn't know how to use guns, alright? I mean, how many members have they shot? Like, I'm talking about, they have shot their own members, 3 to 5 of them have been shot by their own members. So, y'all don't know how to use your guns. I believe your main person got arrested, alright? So, as far as that goes, the NFAC is, I just don't get that one. They never even went anywhere. Again, when y'all are shooting your own people, then there's an issue. And you're still calling out people now, doesn't look good for you, alright? But obviously y'all are a hate group, and, that's all you are, alright? He also has ties to the new Black Panther movement, which, Black Panther is, that's obviously racial too, alright? So, everybody was trying to say earlier that, Black Panthers created WIC, which is Women's Infant Children, help you get milk and dairy products. Okay, number one, great deal, alright? That was how long ago? Even if y'all did create that, alright? But again, y'all are just like the NFAC, alright? Black Panthers is just like the NFAC. Only difference is the NFAC shoots their members on accident. Y'all don't. That's the only difference, alright? Let's see here. Another connection he has is the Black Militia. Now, I haven't heard about that one. I'm sure it's the same thing. I'm sure it's just some kind of hate group. Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. Let's see. He also has the Huey P. Newton Gun Club Alabama chapter. He also has that going on. So he has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 hate groups that he's in. But nobody wants to talk about this on the media. How is it that a white police officer gets shot in the head by a black person, no media coverage, but I just don't get it. It's so backwards. If you are the media, you are to cover the news, and that's all the news, not just what fits your narrative, alright? Oh, thank you. I don't know if you can see the other one. I actually got this one first, and then I got this one about 2 months ago. Um, but again, if the media is going to be media, they need to cover everything. They need to cover black on black crime, white on white crime, white versus black, black versus white, officer, not officer. All right. Because they love to talk about Derek Chauvin, but they can't talk about the black person who broke into the Dallas home, kidnapped a white infant child, took the infant child, drove it to a residential street, killed the baby, and left the baby in the residential street because he was a black male and the baby was white. Just like Jasmine Barnes, when everybody thought that it was a white person who killed Jasmine Barnes, the 7-year-old black girl, and wounded her sister. They loved to blast it, and like I said before, CNN was blasting it for 6 days that it was a white person who did it. When it came out, it was 2 black people. Every other news source have reported that it was 2 black men that have been charged, except CNN. It took them 23 hours to report that it was actually 2 black men. But y'all can blast for a week that it was a white person when it really wasn't even a white person. Um, this person will be caught. It's only a matter of time before he gets caught. But in the meantime, the media should be condemning this instead of pushing the narrative that all cops are bad and we need to defund the police. Just like what happened in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Why is the media not talking about this? Why is the media not talking about the fact that these 2 brothers were arrested for having drugs, assaulting police officers, and throwing drugs out, but all they want to talk about is the brothers were wrongfully stopped, they should never been stopped, and then they go out there, Black Lives Matter protesters go out there, try to set fires to the jail, they assault officers, throw rocks at them, but nobody can talk about that. Yeah, when children are involved, that's the worst kind of thing. They can never talk about children. I just don't get it. There are literally people outside the courthouse right now in Minnesota with Black Lives Matter flags flying. Okay. Um, y'all should be in Chicago where there are 40 to 50 black people shot every weekend. All right, that's where you should be. You should be in New York, Chicago, where these places are experiencing black on black crime. That's what you should be stopping. And on top of that, there are children that are being shot every weekend in Chicago. Again, when there are 40, 50 people shot, you really don't think children are shot? There are children shot every weekend in Chicago. Every weekend in California. There are children shot. But you don't care about children. You don't care about black on black crime. All you want to talk about is how, a white officer killed a black man. Or how a white person killed a black man. We need to focus on what the real issue here is. The media is part of the problem. And we will always have problems because of the media and their narrative. All they want to push is what they want, alright? Whether it's CNN, ABC, Fox News, MSNBC, whatever the case may be, you gotta report both sides of it. But, again, I just want to bring this video to you real quick. I am watching the Derek Chauvin trial, which should be coming up soon. He's supposed to be sentenced at 1:30 their time, so right now it's 2:23 my time, so probably next, 10 to 15 minutes, we should know what his verdict is on the trial. Now, me personally, I don't think Derek Chauvin is going to get a fair trial. He didn't have a fair trial. And I'm not just saying that because I support the police. What I am saying is there is so much that went against Derek Chauvin in his trial. Again, when you have people that were actually went to Black Lives Matter protests, when you have people that were actually out there participating in protests when they were said that they weren't, when you have people saying that they voted guilty because they were scared of destruction that would be caused in their city, or threats to their life and their property or their families, Derek Chauvin was not going to have a fair trial. Simple as that. Um, Again, it doesn't matter where you go. If you went to South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, Seattle, state of Minneapolis, Washington, Bangor, Maine, even Canada probably. Alright, he's not going to have a fair trial. Alright, there are people out there that hate the police. But the main thing is, everybody knew this trial. Everybody knew what happened between Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. Alright, everybody knows that. But Derek Chauvin's not going to have a fair trial because, again, there were people on that trial, on that jury, that said they voted guilty because they were scared of destruction in their city, fear of death, and fear of death of their family. And then you have other people on there that were actually part of the movement Black Lives Matter, out there with Black Lives Matter shirts on, saying they didn't go to protest, but they really did. You have Maxine Waters out there, which almost caused a mistrial, which in my case should have been a mistrial. Now, prosecution wants 30 to 40 years in jail for Derek Chauvin. Eric Nelson, which is his attorney, wants probation and time served in jail.